This isn't about championships or rings or even basketball.
It's about the journey.
It's about how a man responds when the universe tells him no. Jordan didn't avoid the gauntlet or run away from it.
No, he didn't play victim either.
Rose above it and conquered it. Now, contrast that with LeBron James.
Oh, boy.
In 2010, when LeBron...
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So, I had a request from the members section to check out this video here. This is from Hoop Reports, and it's titled, How Steph Curry Broke LeBron's GOAT Case. And this is from a couple of days ago. And, I mean, before even getting into the video, I'm just happy people are finally talking about the obvious here. It seems like everyone is starting to come down a little bit from their LeBron intoxication that they were under, where they were starting to think that he's the greatest of all time. Well, not only is he not number one, he's not number two, and he's not number three. And we're going to see how far he goes down the list eventually here. So here's Hoop Reports, and we're going to talk about how Steph Curry broke LeBron's GOAT case. I mean, the thing is, right off the bat, he doesn't even have a case to forget the word GOAT. The word GOAT doesn't even belong in this conversation at all when it comes to these two. No offense to either of these players, but that spot's taken. But you didn't even beat the matchup, the rivalry between you and Steph Curry. So how are you supposed to be greater than everybody, including him? Not happening, especially when there are multiple players that are greater than Steph Curry. How does that, like, the whole thing just breaks logic. You can't beat the rivalry with Curry. You're not moving up to the next level and combating guys like Kareem and MJ and Kobe. Like, you're not there yet. But anyways, this should be funny because, yeah, Steph Curry, unless you're a LeBron shill, and if it is, fine, that's okay. But if you're not, I don't understand how you have him over Curry. I really don't get it at all. But anyways, I don't want to ramble too much on the intro. Let's see what it is, and I'll talk about it as we go along. Guys, I'm linking the original video down below in the description like I always do. Highly recommend this channel. It's a really cool channel. And also, I like to welcome a new channel member, blancosmoke. I believe I said that right. And also, I see right here, welcome back, Cam. Long time member, and I really appreciate you guys. Happy holidays to you. Thanks for all the tips and donations and everything. You guys have been amazing this December, so I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching the videos. Like the vid if you could. Hype the vid if you could. Let's do this.
Do you think LeBron feels threatened by Steph Curry?
Yes, I do. End of video. He's very threatened by Steph Curry. Game over, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Whenever someone asks who the GOAT of the NBA is today, the answer is pretty straightforward.
Michael Jordan.
Of Michael Jordan.
Of Michael Jordan.
To Michael Jordan.
But the truth is, if Steph Curry was never born, if the baby-faced assassin never taught the world that range is power, LeBron James would have owned the modern NBA era completely. And the GOAT conversation probably ends with his name.
I've had an opportunity to watch. I think the man that we're looking at right here is the best of all of them.
The numbers, the championships, the road was paved. Unfortunately for LeBron, number 30 showed up and with a smile on his face, took away the highest honor the game can offer him.
Two things. One, Pat Riley said that before LeBron ran away back to Cleveland. And two, you can't just eliminate rivals and then say, well, if that rival didn't exist, he'd be the greatest of all time. I mean, to switch sports real quick, imagine if Eli Manning didn't exist. Tom Brady would have nine Super Bowl champions, right? So get rid of Peyton Manning and he would have had even more. Or let's go vice versa. Get rid of Tom Brady out of history. What does Peyton Manning's legacy look like? It would be a lot better now, wouldn't it? So it just doesn't work that way, man. Greatness is achieved by just rising above your rivals. And it's the rivals that are needed in order to make this exciting.
A lot of general fans point to stats to show that it's close, but in my opinion, Curry's impact has been far greater than LeBron's.
Any day.
This is how Steph Curry shattered LeBron's GOAT case.
I mean, straight up, I'll admit it every time. I don't like how Steph changed the game. I don't like how Steph influenced the game to a 3-ball type of system. But me saying that is obviously admitting the guy changed the game, and it's only every, maybe every 20 years somebody comes along and changes the game. He did it. LeBron didn't. MJ did.
In 2014, LeBron James was on track to become the greatest of all time.
Hold on, that's an interesting chart. So this is all by age 30. So mind you, LeBron had a 3-year head start, I believe. Because I'm 99% sure Jordan spent 3 years in North Carolina. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been 2. And then he finished his degree as he was in the NBA. Anyways, let's call it a 3-year head start. So one less championship. Yeah, obviously one less finals MVP. He had one more regular season MVP. That makes sense. Jordan was combating with Magic and Bird in their primes during that time. All NBA, more for LeBron. Looks like about the same for All Stars. Well, All Stars will be every season. So, and then all defense. LeBron was keeping up with the all defensive selections back then too. Interesting.
And more important, but that's when Steph Curry stepped into the picture. Over the next 4 seasons, LeBron reached the finals.
Hey, this is what you get, though. I can't ever forget. He teamed up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to take down Kobe Bryant, thinking that would be the only rival out there to take out. Nope. You took him out, and a new one rose. Steph Curry. What are you going to do this time?
4 times. An incredible achievement on its own. But unfortunately,
Cordell, Steph, and Curry. So, guys, when you look at this, I just don't get it. They've faced off on the biggest stage 4 times. LeBron won 1. Steph won 3 of them. How in the hell can anybody say LeBron is greater than Steph? I just don't understand the logic here. Like, I don't.
without Steph Curry,
Okay, I got a perfect analogy here, and this is in all fairness, okay? Because I'm old enough to remember this time. imagine if, and by the way, excuse my voice, I still got these allergies going. Imagine if Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson both had 5 championships under their belt, right? But in this history timeline, they matched up in the finals 4 times. Okay, Michael Jordan beat Magic 1 time, and the other 3 times Magic beat Jordan. They both got 5 championships at the end of their career. Who's greater? It wouldn't be Michael Jordan anymore, you guys. We wouldn't be saying it. We'd be saying, well, Michael Jordan was one of the greatest we've ever seen, but Magic whooped his ass every year, so we got to give it to Magic. That's not hate. That's just like, that's common sense. So why is it different for LeBron? Why isn't Steph Curry getting the respect, you know? Maybe you think I'm coming at this as a LeBron hater. I'm really not, actually, because in 2022, Steph Curry earned my respect. So why isn't Steph Curry getting the respect he deserves as a 4-time champion and a guy who beat the so-called GOAT 3 out of 4 times in the NBA Finals? Why aren't we giving Steph that respect? All the while, everyone is giving LeBron respect for that one time they beat they beat Golden State. The one time he beat Steph Curry, but we're disregarding the other 3 times. Make it make sense.
7 losses.
And you know why else I don't like this is LeBron is notorious for losing in the NBA Finals. It's what he does. It's what he does best, if you ask me. You know, he's only won 4 out of, 10 of them? Excuse me. So if it wasn't for the Warriors, he'd have to go through like a OKC or like Houston or whoever else was knocking on the door back then. Who's to say that LeBron would have actually won those championships if the Warriors were out of there? He usually finds a way to lose in the finals regardless.
At that point, here's something most people don't fully appreciate about Michael Jordan. Yes, 6-0 in the finals is almost impossible to overcome.
Never game
that
7.
number alone carries enormous weight. But what often gets lost is what happened before Jordan ever got there. Did you know that before MJ became the greatest player of all time, he was stopped by the same team 3 years in a row? In 1988, after winning both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan ran into Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boys Pistons and lost 4-1. The following year, it was closer, but still a loss, 4-2. In 1990, it tightened again, but the result didn't change.
For the Pistons, nothing but another world championship will do. And they, the Detroit Pistons, will meet the Portland Trailblazers in the best of 7.
3 straight playoff exits, same opponent, same wall. That's adversity. But here's the thing. Jordan didn't leave. He didn't look for a new situation.
Yep.
He didn't change teams. Instead, he looked his demons in the eye, took the pain, and turned it into fuel.
Absolutely.
Then he came back for more. And in year 4, he broke through.
Sweep.
The Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round.
Yep, that's a king. And the Chicago Bulls was his kingdom, and he built it. He didn't run around and join Miami's kingdom and then proclaim himself the king and then go back to Cleveland and proclaim himself the king. Then go piggyback off the Lakers kingdom and proclaim himself the king. No. MJ stayed still and kept building until they had the greatest empire of them all.
It was only after tasting the agony of defeat and learning from his failures year after year after year that he finally took control of the league. And from that point on, he never looked back. This isn't about championships or rings or even basketball.
It's about the journey.
It's about how a man responds when the universe tells him no. Jordan didn't avoid the gauntlet or run away from it.
No, he didn't play victim either.
Rose above it and conquered it. Now, contrast that with LeBron James.
Oh, boy.
In 2010, when LeBron first left Cleveland and joined Miami to form a powerhouse, he was just 25 years old. Still very young. Okay, fine. A reasonable person would perhaps give him a pass there. But in 2014, at the age of 29, after being beaten decisively in the finals, it happened again.
I know.
With me deciding to come back and play here, I'm back.
For someone chasing...
Hold on, I wanted to read that. Returning to Cleveland. Okay.
Back and play here.
Returning to Cleveland where he has unfinished business. Yeah, I remember this. Okay.
I'm back.
For someone chasing GOAT status, getting run out like that, then simply saying you're going home, isn't the best look.
Nope.
You don't just leave an abandoned ship and then get the band of merry men to start up again. You don't do that. You created this monster that was called the Miami Heatles. Now you got to finish it up.
Yeah.
And let's be honest.
And I'll always be honest about this. Like, if he would have stayed in Miami and toughed it out, I would have had 10 times more respect for him. But he ran away for the second time in 2014. And then he does it again in Cleveland. You know, like he did it 3 times where he ran away from his championship team. Well, you know, at least a contending team. And I just don't like that, man. I never liked that in a star. Kawhi Leonard winning a championship in Toronto and then bailing out on them the following year. I don't respect that. I don't like that. You know, so LeBron losing and then going to join a more powerful team each time, I have zero respect for it. That's not the way the journey's supposed to go. The history will remember every time LeBron faced adversity, he ran away. All the while, all these other legends we talk about, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, you know, all these greats, the story's going to go the opposite. They stayed home. They kept building. They kept getting stronger. They rose above the adversity. You know, they conquered their rivals. Steph Curry, throw him in there. Same thing. He had to stick around and rebuild and win again. You know, that's a feeling LeBron will never get. Like losing and then coming back a couple years later stronger and then winning with that same squad, that same unit. That sensation is something he'll never experience.
If Cleveland didn't have Kyrie, if they weren't positioned to acquire Kevin Love, that return never happens. But anyways, LeBron goes home and gets the team he wants. But then Steph Curry and the Warriors arrive. Then, just like the Pistons were a wall for Jordan, and just like the Celtics and Spurs were for a younger LeBron.
Can you imagine how many championships Kobe Bryant would have if Tim Duncan never existed? Or vice versa? How many championships Duncan would have if Kobe didn't exist? Life don't work that way.
Golden State became his next great obstacle. And once again, when the mountain looked too steep, at age 33, LeBron left. This time for Los Angeles.
Yep.
I'm not saying LeBron didn't compete or give his all, but it's hard to ignore that he chose to leave in search of a better situation. Once might be understandable. Twice raises some questions.
Yeah.
But 3 times starts to say something about who you are.
Yeah, and lastly, even if, okay, that last stint in Cleveland, if he would have, it's like I'm really throwing a bone here, but you already ran away twice. But if you learned your lessons and you said, no matter what, I'm sticking with my home team in Ohio, in Cleveland, and, you know, the ups and downs, I'm going to stick around and fight, you know, and give these Cavs fans, my home team fans, something to believe in, you know, something to be excited about. I'd still have a lot more respect for him than I do now. Like, him going to the Lakers and just like turning his back on his home team for a second time, that's when I completely wrote this guy off. I'm like, this is just who he is. It's what he does. And he doesn't see that there's anything wrong with it. So I want nothing to do with a guy like that.
Now, look at Steph Curry. In 2019, he loses the finals.
Yep.
In 2020, he gets injured. In 2021, he doesn't even make the playoffs.
Yep. And at the end of this, he says, yeah, y'all don't want to see us next year. Y'all don't want to see us next year. I always remember that.
Just in the play-in. That's adversity. But he didn't leave. He didn't recruit his way out.
Nope.
He didn't change teams. Instead, he stayed absorbed the failure, and then delivered one of the coldest post-game lines ever said.
Don't want to see us next year.
There it is.
The next season,
There it is.
true to his words, and with his championship spirit, he climbed straight back to the top of the NBA world and delivered a masterclass performance that the NBA world will never forget.
Absolutely.
Curry along three.
Yep.
That's good. Steph Curry.
Steph Curry made me a Steph Curry fan that year because I remember him saying that in the press conference, and I'm like, whoa, can he deliver on this? Like, I was thinking, like, there's no way he can deliver on this promise, but boy, did he deliver. Boy, did he deliver, man. And I was an instant fan, and after that, like, you don't see somebody do something like that and go like, they're overrated. No, that takes a lot more than just being able to shoot a 3-ball. Like, he had the willpower to put his team on his back and deliver on his message.
So, when you strip away the accolades, strip away the numbers, and focus purely on the story, on how greatness responds to resistance, Steph Curry's journey reads far more like a GOAT story than LeBron's.
Yep.
And that raises a real question. How can LeBron be the greatest of all time if a contemporary of his lived the stronger champion story?
Absolutely.
But if you think this was all Steph Curry did to damage LeBron's GOAT case, we're still missing the biggest part. You see this kid right here? You probably already know what he's about to do next. He's not trying to overpower anyone. He's not backing someone down in the post. He's pulling up from deep because that's what he's seen. That's what he's grown up watching. He's imitating Steph Curry.
Yep.
And
Influence.
that detail matters more than people realize. It's not that nobody looks up to LeBron James. They do. Most players respect him, many coaches respect him, and maybe 50% of fans respect him as well.
But yeah, I see the point. No one's trying to flop around like LeBron. No one's trying to like complain to the refs like LeBron. Like, it's not cool. The things that he's famous for are not really cool. But with Michael Jordan, we all wanted to fly like MJ. Could we? No, but boy, did we try. We all wanted to palm the ball like MJ could. Could we all? Hell no. But we all tried, and it was fun. Nowadays, we got Steph Curry. Everyone is shooting the 3-ball. I may not like it, but what it shows is the impact. He has influenced a whole new generation to play the game of basketball, and that's really important, you guys, because that keeps the game at a somewhat healthy place because you're influencing today's kids, you know, to work hard and be the best basketball player they can be tomorrow. And we need that if we're going to have a healthy league. But LeBron, guys, I've never seen anybody emulate LeBron James on a basketball court. I never have, unless they're just clowning around and like really like making fun of him, which like they'll like crown themselves or do some, you know, a joke like that. But actually like play in the style of LeBron James, no one does it. No one wants to do it.
The truth is, LeBron's greatness is built on physical tools that almost no one else has. You can admire it without believing you can become it. Steph is different. Steph's game feels accessible. It's built on skill, touch, timing, and confidence.
You know what LeBron did for me? I remember LeBron never made me want to play like him, but there was a certain point when I was getting into bodybuilding. He was just starting with the Miami Heat during this time, so probably like 2010, and I was getting in like really, really big shape. And he actually made me consider PEDs. That's what he did. Because I remember working hard, being like, dude, I can't get as buff as LeBron, you know? So I was like, what do I got to do? And I'm like, what do I think he's doing? Like, he's definitely enhancing this somehow, you know? So he actually, for the first time, I think I took some creatine for a while because, you know, I'm not going to like take like the real illegal stuff. But like, I actually took some creatine for a little while, didn't like how it made me feel, and I stopped. But that's how he influenced me. So I can imagine if he's actually influential to anybody, it might be to like take some drugs in order to get buffer so you can be stronger on the basketball court. I don't think that's a good thing. That is not a good thing to influence people towards.
Things kids can practice, things they can imagine themselves doing. When you zoom out, this becomes another piece of the GOAT picture. Steph beat LeBron more often on the biggest stage. Steph has a more powerful narrative. But now, Steph also owns the cultural side of the era.
Yep.
People didn't just watch Steph, they copied him. And it wasn't only kids in driveways. The NBA followed too. Before Steph, pull-up threes from that range were shots coaches hated. Players got benched for taking them. After Steph, those same shots became part of offensive game plans. Spacing widened. Big men were asked to shoot. Entire offenses were redesigned.
Yep, unfortunately.
That shift didn't happen in theory. It happened because one player proved it could work at the highest level. So when the GOAT debate comes up, this part can't be ignored. Greatness isn't only measured by accomplishments, it's also measured by influence. And in LeBron's era, the player the game moved toward, the one people tried to become, wasn't LeBron. It was Steph Curry. The 90s were built in Jordan's image. The modern game was built in Steph's.
Well said.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
Oh, why you gotta do it? Ugh.
And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
See how you look down to the left even when he's saying it about himself? Look at this.
And then after I stopped, I was like, that one right there.
That one right there just indicated psychologically that you were lying, even though you're lying about yourself on a podcast. Man, for someone who lies so much, you think maybe he'd get better at it.
Made you the greatest player of all time.
There. Oh, yeah. And then the second you finish the statement, now you're looking back in the eyes of the person you're addressing. It's the biggest telltale sign for a lie.
Did LeBron actually sound like he believed what he said
Hell
there?
no.
Didn't look like it to me. Look at what the comments said. He doesn't even believe
Yeah.
it. Looks at the floor when he says
See,
it.
I'm not the only one who knows this.
Notice how quiet everybody got when he said this. And my personal favorite. Remember when I went 0-5 in the final minutes of Game 7 and needed Kyrie to hit an ISO step-back 3 over Steph while I was watching from the corner? That's when I knew I was the greatest of all time. Answer me this.
Yep.
How can LeBron James be the GOAT when Steph Curry seems to have upped him on so many of the things that are supposed to matter most? Finals matchups, champion spirit narrative, kids wanting to be like him.
Clutch moments.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't even get me
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. I mean, go ahead and do it. Might as well. I did it.
started on the flopping. I mean, goats don't really do stuff like this, right?
Guys, I really do think, though, like, you know, PEDs aside and all that, like, this is going to be his actual legacy, because this is the way he has influenced a new generation of basketball. You all probably lying right now. I'm sorry, not lying. You're all probably laughing right now while I say it, and I get it. I get why. But hear me out. We've seen the impact in the NBA already. People flop like crazy because of LeBron James getting away with it. So he has impacted the game in that way. But it is the worst way you could possibly impact a sport. He basically just said, here's how you cheat the game. And everybody else is following suit, further poisoning the game that we all love. So I can't think of any other thing that's going to be left behind as far as his legacy. What is it? This and complaining, like attacking refs and complaining and flopping. That's it. And maybe some people will consider taking PEDs to be like LeBron as well.
Like, come on. If you're the greatest of all time, you can't have this type of stuff in your bag. And here's something else too. Yes, LeBron has a lot of NBA records, but go back and actually look at how those records happened. The night he passed Kareem to become the all-time leading scorer, the Lakers lost. The night he became the first player ever with 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists, another loss.
Yes, sir. To the Suns. Let's go. We kicked their ass.
And the night he crossed 40,000 career points, another milestone, another defeat.
Papa Jokic.
It's almost eerie. Many of LeBron's biggest historical moments didn't end with celebration. But Steph's? They ended in wins. And that's another key difference. Heck, even in the most recent Olympics, LeBron might have won the MVP award, but what do we all actually remember?
Yeah.
I'm tired of the GOAT conversation always being framed as Jordan versus LeBron.
Me too, man.
When from nearly every meaningful angle, Steph Curry, who played in the very same era, has outshined LeBron in many of the areas that matter most. And that reality forces us to wrestle with an uncomfortable question. If Steph Curry truly outperformed LeBron James, a player widely viewed as second only to Michael Jordan, then where does Steph actually belong on the all-time list?
I think he's on the top 10.
Putting him ahead of Jordan still feels like a stretch, but ignoring the possibility that Steph might belong right behind him feels harder and harder to justify.
Great video, first of all, kidding. Fantastic video, non-biased. I'm actually really kind of surprised. This is a great video. To me, after 2022, Steph entered my top 10, and I just had to figure out how to get him in there. And anybody can put him wherever they want. I mean, you know, it's our own personal list, but that's where I have him now. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, LeBron is just right outside of my top 10 right now. I mean, the whole, like, putting LeBron up against Jordan, I always take it as, like, I take it as an insult to Michael Jordan, because let's be real, these two should not be compared. It's embarrassing to compare these two. But really, it's disrespectful to all the other greats, too. Disrespectful to Magic, disrespectful to Kobe, Kareem, you know, Russell, you know, all these freaking guys, Bird, like Duncan, Steph. Like, it's disrespectful to these guys to just have him above them like that without any reasoning except for, longevity. You know, longevity. Hey, made it to 10 finals. Let's not talk about the fact that he lost 60% of them. You know, I don't feel like it's justified. I don't think it's right. It feels like cheating, and I always like to call out cheating. So I feel like this is absolutely cheating the system and manipulating minds, and it's BS. If you're really the greatest, you let your work, you leave your work on the court, and everybody else will assess your work. You know, it's like cooking a meal for a food critic, and the entire time with the food critic, instead of just dropping off the plate and saying, hope you like it, you're literally just like manipulating them the whole time into why this is the greatest thing they've ever ate. You know, like, it doesn't work that way, dude. Your part was to cook the meal. The critic's job is now to critique the meal, you know? But LeBron tries to play both ends of this. He's a performer on the court, but then he's also trying to manipulate all like everybody into believing whatever narrative he wants spun about his performance. Life doesn't work that way, man. Life does not work that way. Anyways, guys, do you have Steph Curry above LeBron James? I sure as hell do, and I ain't sorry for it. It's obvious. To me, this one's an easy one. But anyways, I'm out of here, guys. I will see you in the comments, and should be fun. Should be a spicy one. So I'll be in there. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Like the vid on your way out if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, it's to be water, my friends.